stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Perfect. So perfect. Nice. Made it just a little bit stronger today. Little bit stronger. I wanted more of a coffee flavor, so I put another scoop in the grinder today. And just one more scoop really made a difference. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yesterday. Yesterday. I overslept. I haven't done that since college, which has been, 40 years? I overslept. I didn't hear... Let me tell you what I do every morning. I usually wake up at about 4. I have the alarm set at 4:30 just in case I don't wake up at 4. And usually the getting up at 4 is the get up and pee. I call it nature's alarm clock, your bladder. And I learned a long time ago that when I just get up at that point and start my day, I have a more productive day. Could I go back to sleep when I wake up at 4? I could. And when I have done that and then get up at 6, I don't really have a solid sleep. That last 2 hours isn't really a solid sleep. So I just, many years ago, learned to get up at 4. And when I was married, I would just put on the gym clothes and go to the gym, which was about a mile away. Be at the gym when it opened at about 5 o'clock. And then I would work out and I would get home by 6. And I remember just taking the baby out of the crib, bringing the last baby, to mama in bed, and we'd all snuggle together for a couple minutes, and I would get up and take a shower and get ready for work and that kind of thing. And I got a lot done before the rest of the house was up. But yesterday, I didn't hear the alarm at 4:30. I didn't wake up at 4 o'clock, which is odd. I didn't hear the alarm, which goes off 3 times and vibrates. And then I woke up at 6:06. And I leave the house at about 6:20 in the morning. So I literally got up, got dressed, and went to work. And I was angry at myself all day long for not doing the Daybreak Show. That never happened. That's never happened in the history of the Daybreak Show. And this is not true confession time. It's just weird that it happened that way. And like I said, I haven't overslept in over 40 years. Strange, very strange. But I know you'll forgive me for it. It truly takes 3 months to get near epic beard stage. 3 months to grow a good beard, where the stash is completely separate from the beard and the entire hair, facial hair combo is its own entity. Beard, mustache. It's no longer just a facial accompaniment or adornment. Like this right here is just pretty much a facial accompaniment. It doesn't take a lot of care. Zero care, actually. Just brush it once and I'm done. And I keep it at this stage right now. Much bigger than this, and it does take some care. And my goal in life right now is to spend less time in the bathroom. I like getting in, getting out, and that's it. When I had the bigger beard, it did take a little more time. Don't ask for it to be easier. Ask for you to be better. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Once I figured that out, everything changed. That was Jim Rohn. One of my all-time favorite quotes from Jim Rohn. R-O-H-N, if you don't know him. People in the UK have looked down on people in Europe the same way that arrogant northerners in the United States look down on and make fun of southerners. many of what I call the EU zombie countries, pro-EU, think that way about Poland and Hungary, like they're uneducated, they're dumb. Let me remind you, there's more law and order in Poland and Hungary than there is in all of the EU combined. Just a little reminder of how effective the EU is in Europe and the UK. Look at UK. UK is gone. Sorry, folks, it's gone. You know why? Because you did nothing. You did nothing. So, if I had to choose where to live, it would be Poland or Hungary. Not even my own country, Italy. Sorry, folks. Just a quick reminder, if you missed the N95 face masks, the machetes and survival knives are still for sale for $8.99 at Harbor Freight. Do you know why they're burning the bodies so fast in Wuhan, China? The mainstream media doesn't want you to know the truth. Maybe this leaked picture tells us why. Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence. He's a nice guy. I do believe he is a nice guy. But I don't believe after Trump he could ever be president. Many vice presidents run after their successful president has, a couple terms. I don't think that Mike Pence can do it. He's too nice of a guy. And to me, he sounds too much like a televangelist when he talks. It's too measured. I don't doubt his integrity. I just don't think that he could ever be president. Ain't happening. Men, don't ever mistake her saying this. I've only had 5 boyfriends. Don't ever confuse that with, I've only had sex with 5 guys. Don't ever fall into that trap. She says to you, I've only had 5 boyfriends, leading you to believe that she's only been with 5 guys. That's nonsense. You can triple that number. Minimum. I can picture every move that a man could make getting lost in her lovin' is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care if I find you been creeping around my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning, when I'm losing again. Gordon Lightfoot, 1974. If there was a gym where you could open up the windows or big giant garage doors to let fresh air in, I would join it in 2 seconds. I'm tired of sick buildings. Aren't you tired of sick buildings where you can't open windows? I remember a day, this is how old I am, I remember a day when you could open up windows in hospital rooms and let fresh air in. Schools, hotels had windows you could actually open. I'm tired of sick buildings and breathing recycled sick air. I think that's where I got my flu from, was from the gym. I truly believe that. I truly believe that's where I got the flu from. I read an article that taking vitamin D is just as effective as the flu shot. Literally 1 day later, I got the flu. And I was useless for about 10 days with the flu, and then took another 10 days to recover. January, which was Carnuary for me, pretty much sucked. And I do think I got it from the gym. I do. Breathing, like I said, the recycled air and all the atomized sickness floating around in that windowless building. That's what I think. Somebody start a gym where you can open the windows and open the doors, and I will join it in 2 seconds. Overcorrection can be an issue in relationships. Let me tell you why. Overcorrection always creates a disproportionate response. You may have an emotional issue that reminds you of negative past experiences or a person. For instance, men, if you have a girlfriend that's late for a second, you might give her the talking to. You might talk to her and say, if that happens again, we're breaking up. I'm done. And she's looking at you saying, oh my God, I was only 5 minutes late. Here's the issue, is that you may have been cheated on in the past, and now you're hypersensitive to someone being late and possibly lying to you. So you gave her the reaction that you would have given someone in the past when it truly was 5 minutes late and ran into traffic and there was an accident on the highway. Overcorrection. Have you ever overcorrected a situation? Men and women, have you ever overcorrected? It's a disproportionate response to what happened. Usually it has tentacles going to your past. I've said this for a long time. When a person dates you or marries you, they're not only dating you, but they're dating the little kid you, the teenage you, the college age you. We bring all of that baggage into our present. Have you ever dated someone and they're just so hooked on the past? They just can't escape their past. That's another vetting technique. And you only know that if you are with the person long enough. Never get engaged unless you have a date to get married. And usually that should be within a year, my opinion. I heard a guy yesterday who referred to his fiancée and him having been engaged for 5 years. What do you think of that? Put your answer down below. My thoughts are that neither one of them really wants to get married. If you've been engaged for 5 years, you're waiting for something better to come along. And they are waiting for something better to come along. It's kind of silly, isn't it? Single or divorced mommies that are watching this, get your man or your baby daddy to take your boy to a barbershop. Not a chain, not a salon where women cut his hair. Your baby boy, take him to a barbershop where men cut his hair. Important. And that leads me to say this, that black barbershops may be the last true man spaces left in the United States. I'm not saying all white barbershops are soy shops, but I'm telling you, white barbershops have gotten feminized by hipsters and lady barbers. And men, stop bringing your girlfriend to the barbershop when you get your hair cut. But white barbershops take a clue from black barbershops. They are man spaces. And I say more power to the black barbershops. White barbershops have become soy barbershops, run by hipsters and lady barbers. No problem if that's what you want to do. But take your boys to a male-oriented barbershop. Oh, she's cool with all her piercings and tattoos. She's cool. No, she's not. She's troubled and she's in pain. And she's advertising it very loudly. And you are too much of a soy boy to recognize that. And too desperate if you are the owner of a white barbershop. Again, here I am just making enemies in the barbering industry. I care not. It's a beautiful place to be in life where you just don't give a damn and you can speak your mind. Take boys to male-oriented barbershops. Philly is the biggest offender, the absolute biggest. And one of the reasons is that there's so many. The pool of male barbers is very, it's thin. It's thin. So male barbershops will take a cosmetologist, you'll see it on Craigslist or something, accepting barbers or beauticians. Okay, all right, that just tells me the guy wants to make money in a shop. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. That's cool. But it's no longer a traditional barbershop, and you can't pass it off as that. Sorry, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. It's a soy shop. Stop it. Who soothes the savage beast in you when you have a shitty day or wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Put your answer down below. I'd like to see that. When you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you're grumpy, Mr. Grumpy Pants, Miss Grumpy Pants, who soothes the savage beast in you and calms you down? Is it wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, your dog, your pets? What happens? Do you need to take a walk? Do you need to take a ride on the motorcycle? Do you need to go work out? What and who soothes the savage beast in you? I'd like to see that. Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel, I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild, cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go. Chuck Berry, 1963. Great song. So many animals make it to my back deck here. Sick and frail animals make it to my deck. It's really interesting. Foxes, deer, possums, raccoons, hawks, cats, dogs, birds. They know who loves them. And in nice weather, I'm usually out there in the morning with my cup of coffee. And literally, you just never know what is going to walk up on the back deck. In the evenings, maybe I'll have a cigar or a pipe. And they sit there and they look at me and they want me to talk to them. And they don't jump. And I have intense eye contact with the animals that make it to my back deck. Are you like that? Do you love being surrounded by animals? Sometimes being surrounded by animals is better than being surrounded by people. It's peaceful, right? Too much logos is like trying to drink out of a fire hose. So let's just start with a water fountain. When I say logos, I mean divine order and truth from God. Too much of it at once, and you can't really retain anything, can you? It needs to come in small doses. But the beautiful thing about logos, truth, divine order, is that it only takes that much to change your heart. That's cool. That's why when people start getting preachy with other people, or with me, it turns me off. And then the ban hammer comes out. Go easy. If you're a Christian person, you are commanded to live your life in such a way where people see the difference in how you live. What you say isn't as important as how you live. What space that you know of is uniquely a man's space? Everything I know has been infiltrated by women. This is not to be confused with being a misogynist, which some people have said, and I've had to literally ban and block their sorry asses. And usually it's hardcore soy boys who need to level the playing field. They're afraid to be alone with other men in a man's space, and they got to invite women in. Men trying to become part of a woman's book club, Pilates club, a cooking group. When they do that, they're either gay, a creeper, or obtuse, just weird, okay? When women come into a man's space, it's you go, girl. Even a well-known national beard contest now has a women's beard category, albeit fake beards. But come on, dudes, come on. Another reason why I can't stand associating with the victims, SJWs, hipsters, and equality soy boys in the beard community. Show me some leaders. Show me some leaders. Is there a space that is strictly a man's space? You're not cool because you invited women into your space. You're actually the opposite. You're weak. Men's spaces. I'm beginning to think, I'm dead serious about this. Someone said Masonic lodges. Okay, that's cool. Firehouses. I've heard that before. Black barbershops might be the the last bastion of manhood in this country. How about this? Get your next haircut in a black barbershop if you're a white guy or non-black guy. Go to a black barbershop. I know they're going to look at you odd, like, what are you doing here? But do it. And then get back to me, tell me how you feel. Tell me what you experienced. It's masculine. It's manly. The last place on earth where all men can be celebrated. And only fools are going to say, well, that's gay. No, you're gay. You're weird if you think that. Not every time men want to spend time with other men, like a cigar lounge or something like that. It's not all, it has nothing to do with sexuality. Men grow from mixing with other men. Healthy women will want their men to spend time with other men. That right there is gold. Healthy women encourage their men to spend time with other men. Keyword, healthy. How many decent women follow a red-pilled guy on social media? They might get a chance to meet him or even have a nice, friendly relationship or more with him, only to get crushed when he takes his red pill a little too far. I know of 3 such situations like that. Which leads me to this. If the pill you are taking causes you to be an asshole, consider this. You might be taking the wrong pill. Do you have an ex that you would have one last fling with? Only one fling. One last fling. I took a poll. 56% said yes. 44% said no. When you go back in your mind of people you dated, would you have one last fling with them if they made their way into your life? Would you do it? Just one last fling. No one knows. Would you do it? Yes or no? Tell me. I'd like to see it. Playing with fire till your fingers burn, and when there's no place for you to turn, don't go to strangers, darling. Come on to me. Etta Jones, 1960. Do you ever look at a woman and think, God, only if that hair was real? Some of you will get that. Most modern women are everything that a man wants for a short-term relationship or friends with benefits. They are also everything a man doesn't want for a long-term relationship, lifelong partnership, or marriage. And you heard me say this, pursue excellence and excellence will pursue you. Sometimes the excellence shows up with an hourglass figure, a great smile, loving eyes, a warm, willing heart. And don't forget that. Be open to that kind of excellence as well, gentlemen. The best license plate that I ever saw, said paid for. I love that. A paid for funky shack on the beach is so much better than a McMansion anywhere with a 30-year mortgage at $2,700 a month. Maybe it's just my age talking, maybe not. But I wouldn't mind a little love shack on the beach that I paid for with cash. Don't have a huge mortgage, pay low taxes, easy to take care of. That's pretty darn attractive to me. How about you? What do you think? I'd like to see your answer. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once, he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter. Proverbs 7:21 and 22. On a scale of 1 to 100, how do you rate your thirst, men? I'm happiest when I'm at a 1 with 0 thirst. I've never been happier. Where are you at, gentlemen, with your thirst? And I'm not talking about liquid. I'm talking about your compulsion to have a relationship or a woman, the power of the you-know-what over your life. There's nothing like a man whose thirst level is at a 0 or a 1. I would say 10 or below, you have complete power over your life and your future. Over 10, and I'm talking on a scale of 1 to 100, over 10, and you have the propensity to let someone else rule your life. Where I live is much more important than what I live in. I've seen gorgeous townhomes, beautiful 3 and 4 stories, beautiful, in shitty neighborhoods in Philadelphia, places where you don't even leave a nickel on the console in your car because somebody will break the windows just to take that nickel or a CD or headphones. I've seen Airstream trailers on a beach in sunny Florida that I've lusted after. Give me an Airstream on a beach in Florida. You can keep your townhouse in Philly in the shitty neighborhood. You are only as powerful as your ability to live without somebody or a relationship status compulsion. I am more powerful and have more freedom than 99% of the people that I know. Contentment is freedom. Contentment is power. Zero need to bring anybody into my life happy alone. Zero need for relationship status. I don't need to be a husband. I don't need to be a boyfriend. I don't need anything. Where are you on that need scale? So if I do have someone in my life, it's because I want them. I chose them. I see how they're going to add to my life, complement my life, accentuate my life like a spice. You eat something and you say it's bland, it needs a little more salt. That's what a relationship should be. It should not be the main meal. It should be a spice. It should be salt that enhances the dish. If your relationship is not a touch of salt in your life, you're in the wrong relationship. Are they into you, or are they into the life they will have by being associated with, dating, or being married to you? All answers are welcome. I'd like to see that. Attachment, you've heard me say this before, attachment is the root of all suffering. In other words, have a loose grip on everything in life and everybody. The looser your grip, the less possibility for disappointment. If you go fishing and the fish are not attracted to the hook, the fisherman is to blame, not the fish. You think everybody would know that. That is why some people have called this YouTube channel the College of Common Sense. As a dreamer of dreams and a traveling man, I have chalked up many a mile, read dozens of books about heroes and crooks, and I learned much from both of their styles. Jimmy Buffett, 1978. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show. I promise you will. The home of sanity, clarity, and reason.